Hello all again. This is another example of a literal equation. Again, we've got fractions. We've got a rational literal equation here. We're solving for b. So we look at our denominators and we're looking for a least common denominator. So I see 3x, b, and 6b. So you could multiply them all straight together and you'd get 18x b squared, and you could multiply that by everything and it would clear out your denominators. You'd have a little bit of extra canceling that you'd have to do along the way. But instead of multiplying by that, which is a common denominator, let's look for the least common denominator. So if you look for just the numbers 3 and 6, what's the least common multiple of those two? 6. And then we see an x. It's the only x. We need an x factor in our least common multiple. So x has got to go along. But even though we have two b's, we only need one of the b's to come along. If that's too much for you, you could stop and do the division ladder on these three terms, 3x, b, and 6b. Now, if you're looking for a least common multiple, you first would start by looking for any number or variable, anything that goes into all three terms. In this case, there's actually nothing that goes into all three terms other than 1. So we look for anything that goes into any two of them. So you might right away see 3 and 6. Okay, so 3 goes into both of those. So 3 goes into 3x, x times, or 3 times x would give us 3x. It doesn't go into the b. The b drags down. But 3 does go into the 6b, 2b times. So we've taken one step down the division ladder. Now we look for anything else in common. This just has an x term, but these both have a b in common. So we can pull out a b. The x drags down. B times what would be b? 1. B times what would be 2b? 2. So here our L that's formed on the outside here is going to be our least common multiple. So we have 3 times 2 times b times x, or 6bx. So either way, if you need to take the extra step to do this to find your least common denominator, that's fine. But yes, 6xb is our least common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this side by 6xb, and I'm going to multiply this side by 6xb. So again, you might start recognizing how to cancel and simplify a little quicker, but I'm just going to go ahead and multiply this by our numerators. So I'm going to get 12xb over 3x minus 6xb times x is going to give me 6x squared b over b, and on the other side 6xb over 6b. Okay, so now we can do some cancellation. We can cancel our x's. We can turn 12 over 3 into 4. So we have 4b minus b's cancel, 6x squared is equal to, on this side, the 6 and the b's cancel, so we're left with just x. Thankfully, we're solving for b, not for x. That would be a lot harder with an x squared there, but we can add 6x squared to both sides. Now, 6x squared, these are x squareds and x's. They're not like terms, so we're not going to combine those two together. So we're just going to write them next to each other. Sometimes it's nice to put the x squared term first. That's more of our standard form. So 6x squared plus x, and then we just have to divide by 4. And so we get b is equal to 6x squared plus x over 4, and that would be equivalent to 3x squared over 2 plus x over 4. But either way is totally fine. Let me squeeze down there. It was cut off a little bit. So either form I am going to be happy with for this unit as your final answer.